All right, SE 1 and 2, we are going to start our final project. Last week you guys worked on your sketchbooks and practice with some landscapes. You should have drawn 4 different landscapes and tested out your ideas on how to include your horizon line, your background, your foreground, your middle ground. And now you're ready to pick one of your sketches, or maybe you need to make a new one. Maybe you haven't quite found that one yet, but you're gonna pick one of your sketch ideas, you're gonna expand it, and we are going to start working on our final landscape. And I will be walking you through how to create your own landscape. This one is mine, and I did this I made some videos of me actually drawing it and painting it that I will show to you. And remember that this is the project that we are sending to Original Works, and we do need to have these done by a certain deadline. So you are going to want to make time in your day to do your project. And I know that you have a lot going on, but I also know that we are all given the same amount of time in the day. And if you set yourself just a 20-minute timer, a little bit of time each day will give you enough opportunity to do your project. So here we go. We're gonna start off with the drawing part of this project.
Before we get started, I just want to say to you all that if you're having a hard time thinking of different types of landscapes, the internet is a great resource for you. I just jumped onto Google just so you guys could see. I typed in desert landscape and a ton of different ideas popped up. And I hope that now that you've practiced, you can tell where the sections of the landscape are being represented. You should be able to pick out the background, the middle ground, the foreground. You should be able to tell where the horizon line might lay. If you're stuck, go ahead and jump on the internet and get inspired. Keeping your sketchbook nearby, take a look and select one of the sketches that you think is going to be your most successful. You can look at it to guide you. The paper that you're using has been given to your teachers and it's in your Friday folders this week. Make sure your name and class goes on the back, SE1 or 2. When you have your paper, you've got your pencil, you got an eraser, make sure that you're starting your drawing with a very light horizon line. This is going to allow you to separate what's going to go in the background, what's going to go in the middle ground, what's going in the foreground. You can see that I've started my drawing with some hills in the back. I'm placing my sun right at the bottom of my horizon line, which would mean what, right? My sun is setting. It is going below the horizon line. I've put some clouds in here, and I've even included some of these fun curvy lines. Working in your landscape is going to call for you to be thinking about what types of objects might we see in your environment. I'm doing a desert landscape, and I happen to really like the saguaro, so I'm going to drop a giant one in the front here. How can I get this to be in the foreground of my landscape drawing? I need to use that eraser and take out the background lines that are coming through my cactus. Automatically, just like we practiced before, I've now brought my cactus all the way to the front of my scene. I'm going to add in a few more plants here. And boys and girls, it's okay if these are abstract looking plants. This is not any type of plant that I've seen, but it looks like it would belong in this type of landscape. It's okay with me if things start to get a little abstract. It's fun sometimes to play around with that. Use your eraser here in your landscape drawing to take out the horizon line wherever it's going to be overlapping in the middle ground or foreground. I am adding very simple lines through my drawing. These lines are spaced out. I have used an overlapping technique where I start and stop, and it's allowed me to separate the spaces. Keep this drawing simple, you guys. Make sure you kiss it. Keep it super simple. The next step to this part of your project is going to be to use a black crayon to go on top of your pencil lines. This is real time in this video. I did not speed it up right now. I wanted you to be really clear to see how slowly I'm working when I am using this black crayon. I will speed up the process here in just a second for you, but I wanted to give you a chance to really see that you will need to take your time when using the black crayon. We want a nice dark line on top of those pencil lines. You can see that I have forgotten to include my funky lines inside of my Sawaro, and I used my black crayon just to add them in. If you have forgotten something like I did, it probably would be best for you to use a pencil, but I knew exactly what I wanted, so I went right to the crayon. I need you to go over all of your lines, and this is because when we go in with watercolor next week, it's going to act as a separator. You guys, any type of dark oil-based crayon is going to work fine for this. I happen to be using the Crayola crayon, but if you wanted to use a black oil pastel, that would work too. Go over every pencil line that you have, and I'm going to say it again, boys and girls, if you have too many lines and you're using your crayon and they're getting too crowded, that means you need to eliminate some of these pencil lines. Before you go over it with crayon, think to yourself, do I need to erase something or can I just go right for it? When you finish up this part of your project, I would like you to take a picture of your work and email it to me. I can give you some feedback. You can share it with me. It would be really nice for me to see where you're at in this process. I've got a roster of the whole class, and what I will do is I will check off everyone who sends me an email with their progress photo so that we can know where we are. Boys and girls, this is real-time speed again. You can see how slowly I'm going. I hope that you have a good time with this, and I hope that you'll email me if you have any questions.
I cannot say this enough times. Although I want you to include different types of line in your landscape, less is more in this case, right? You saw that I included line in my drawing, curvy lines, sharp lines, thick lines. I had swirls, horizontal, diagonal, but I did not overwhelm my drawing. Less is more, because the next step, next week, you'll be working with paint and using paint to illustrate your painting. And I will see you guys next week. Bye.